Hi everyone, welcome back to Martin's Home and Garden Houseplant of the Week. This week we're going to talk about a really cool and special plant known as the tiny dancer alocasia. This plant is actually a hybrid of two other alocasias known as the Alocasia brisbanensis and the Alocasia odora. The hybrid was actually created in the US, but its natural habitat mostly resembles that of the subtropics of Asia and the eastern rainforests of Australia. Plants that occur in the rainforest make really good houseplants because they're used to the lower lighting conditions underneath the tree canopy. This plant is mostly admired for its really cool leaves. They resemble that of an outstretched arms of a ballerina. This plant is really cool and will make a great addition to your houseplant collection. And so now we're going to get into how to care for this plant. The first thing that we'll talk about is lighting requirements for this plant. This plant's going to want a bright, indirect, or filtered sunlight. If you have eastern or western windows in your house, that is going to be the most ideal place to put this plant as it prefers the morning and afternoon sun. If you have lower light, you're going to want probably the help of some grow lights because the lower light conditions are not ideal for this plant and it will slow down the growth. If you have really bright windows with lots of direct sun, you're going to want to move this plant back from a window, probably 1 to 2 feet, just to avoid the harsh conditions of the direct sun, which can burn the leaves. Another condition you want to avoid is overwatering this plant. These plants are pretty easily overwatered, so you're going to want to wait till the top 2 to 3 inches of soil dry out before you water this plant again. They don't want to sit in super soggy, wet soil, but they also don't want to completely dry out. A good indication that you're overwatering your plant will be yellow leaves. And if you're underwatering your plant, your leaves will start turning kind of a crispy brown. Brown leaves can also indicate that your house does not have enough humidity for this plant. So some ways to increase your humidity would be a humidifier. You can mist your plant. You can also keep it on a little pebble tray full of water to increase the humidity, or you can also make sure that you avoid vents and drafty windows, as that will harm this plant as well. Another thing that's important for this plant is to have the right soil mix. You're going to want a well-draining indoor potting mix, and I would recommend doing 1 part potting mix and then 1 part peat moss. That's just going to best resemble its natural soil and its natural habitat. Another thing about this plant to increase drainage more would be to have drainage holes in the bottom of your pot, because this plant, as we said before, does not want to sit in water. That can cause root rot really quickly for these plants. I have done it before myself, so it's not impossible. Another cool thing about this plant is that you can propagate it. These plants produce little offsets, little baby plants that you can cut off from this plant and pot into a new pot. Just be sure in the plants in the new pot, you keep that soil moist until it establishes better roots. Then you have a whole new tiny dancer alocasia plant. That is all we have for this plant today. Remember that we have a houseplant swap coming up this Friday on November 5th at 6 p.m. It costs $5 to sign up, and you can sign up on our website. And we're actually going to be giving away a really cool and exciting plant, so stay tuned for more details on that. Thank you guys for watching.